I really appreciate you taking the time out, because I understand right about now is going to be hectic for you.
That's all good. Good.
But before we get into obviously full details, I've got a little bit of a summary about you. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes BoxRec, Wikipedia, it's
Yeah.
not as accurate as it says it is. So I've got here that obviously you were from Team GB as a heavyweight. You're 6'5" and 27 years old. Your managers are Sam Jones and Adam
Morally.
Morley of
Yeah,
SJam Boxing.
that's right.
I heard that you put on quite an impressive show during your amateur career, and you had a gold medal for the 2017 National Championships. You
Yeah.
then went on to join Team GB in 2017, and you fought for the Olympics under the Lionhearts badge of Sheffield, UK.
Wasn't the Olympic? Well, it's the Olympic squad, but not the Olympics. It's
The
the
Olympic squad.
squad. Yeah, same squad.
See, these are the finer details that I have to get
Yeah.
used to.
Because then someone
Um,
would say, "You haven't boxed in the Olympics," but it's not the Olympic squad, and it.
Tell me what the difference is, because
So the squad, the GB squad, is the
yeah,
that is the national program. That is the Great Britain squad. You can box in all different tournaments. Obviously, the
yeah,
Olympics only comes around every 4 years. So you obviously only a team that will qualify for the Olympics every 4 years. Those boxers will box in the Olympics, but for
yeah.
those rest of the time, you're still boxing international tournaments as part of the GB squad.
Right, I'm with you now. You can see how often I watch the Olympics then. Yeah. And your trainer then and your trainer now is Max McCracken, who the McCracken is a household name in boxing, who also trains the brothers, is it Cal and Gamal Yafai?
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got here that you've had 9 amateur bouts.
Nah, I've had about
Thought that
45.
was raving.
Yeah, yeah.
How many have
Where's
you
that
had?
coming from? Someone else said that to me. Like, I don't know where they're getting the number from.
It's BoxRec.
Oh, box rec. Yeah, that box rec number's mad because I went on there and I was like, what is this record, man? It's all mad. They missed about 30 fights.
You see what I mean? So how
Yeah.
many amateur bouts have you had?
What about 45? Yeah.
Today's quite a pivotal day in boxing, because it's been announced by the BBFC that we're now opening the UK for professional boxers. So to me, this interview couldn't come at a better time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I want to go back to the beginning, and I want to learn what I can do about you getting into boxing. What age did you start?
Yeah. So I started. I actually went to the gym at 15, or
Yeah.
just training. For about 6 months, but I never had any fights. And actually, my first bout was at 20. I came back to the gym 5 years later. That's when I actually started boxing. So when I was 15, I was just at school.
Yeah.
Was like boxing, but I never had any fights. I was trained, but now with a friend. But I used to play rugby at school, so that took up all my time. So I just didn't properly do the boxing.
Yeah.
So until I was 20, I come back a few years later. For I want to properly, fight and box and give it a proper go. So 20 was my first bout.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So what made you return then? Because you said you were 15, you went in doing the training, going through the motions. You was at school, kind of like, okay, we're at school, we're doing rugby.
Yeah.
What made you turn back to boxing?
Yeah, it was just like I always loved boxing, but
Yeah.
I never really seen no pathway for it from where I was at school. Rugby was like I seen a pathway. There was a professional rugby. I was in the academy.
Okay.
You get into the academy, you can turn professional coming out of college and such. With boxing, I didn't know like there would be a GB squad. You could go onto the Olympics and turn pro.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew like pro boxing, but I didn't know from like as a kid there was a
Yeah.
pathway for it. And I
Yeah.
never had no one else like that would took me to the gym. It was just on myself. So I just did the rugby because I saw the pathway there, and it was
Yeah.
everything at school sort of thing.
So being sports kind of orientated, your passion was always going to be some kind of sport then, because like you said, rugby was there, but you were
Yeah,
drawn back to the boxing.
yeah, the
So
boxing always, the boxing
yeah.
always.
Talk to me about that then. When you go back in the gym, you find your way back, because I'm a strong believer in whatever you're meant to do. You might start it 1 year, and it could be 5-6 years later you'll walk back into it. It's just supposed to happen. So tell me about you going back into the gym after that 5 years out of the scene and how it picks up from there.
Yeah, it was a coincidence why I went back actually, because I was on the bus, you know, and in Brom, and I seen
Yeah.
a kid that used to train at the boxing gym as well.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
just speaking to him, and I said, you still go to the boxing gym?"
Mm.
And he said, "Yeah, every now and then." I said, What days is the training?" And he said, "Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, you know, same time." And it was
Yeah.
a Monday. And I said, "Oh, so would it be on tonight?" He said, "Yeah, man, it's the same time." So I said, "You know what? I'm going down tonight then." Literally, when I got home off the bus, I went down the boxing gym that night, walked in and just spoke to the coaches and just wanted to, you know, start training. And I said, "I want to fight, you know, when can I have my first fight?" But to them, I just walked in the gym one day. So they said, "How long's a piece of string?" Didn't know if I'd be any good or not.
Yeah.
And then I said, "You know, we'll see, you know, we'll have to get you to do some sparring."
Yeah.
I think the next couple of days later, the next session or the next week, I did the one spar, and they just said, "Right, we'll get your medical, then we'll put you on the next show next month." It's like that, yeah. So
That
then it just,
quick.
yeah.
Okay. Tell me what you did to impress them to push you through to amateur like that. Was it amateur or white collar?
Yeah, amateur, yeah, Wally
Right.
AB club, yeah. I don't know, I just I just went inspired and just I was still novice, I don't know, but they must have thought I was looked all right from the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
And they said, "Right, we're gonna put you on the next show next month, get your medical done." That, so got the medical done and then was
Yeah.
on the next show.
Wow. And tell me about that first amateur fight.
Yeah, and then my first fight, I stopped him in the second round. Second round, yeah, knocked the kid out. You know, I was very raw, but I was just like going for the backhand, just raw power, 1-2, 1-2.
Yeah.
And yeah, I stopped him, but I was very novice, you know, but I was strong, you know,
Mhm.
strong, you know, fit and everything like that.
Yeah.
Very raw, but I
Yeah.
got the stoppage, man. Yeah, my first one, man, I was buzzing.
So when you went into that gym, who were your trainers at that time?
Yeah, so at Worley we had John Nash, who's the head coach, still
Yeah.
is. You know, he runs the gym. Sodi Singh as well, another
Mhm.
senior coach, and Richard Heritage, who's another one of the coaches, but he's also got his pro license and he's going to help out with my pro stuff as well.
Mhm.
He's going to come over with me, which is good because you know I've
Mhm.
been with him for years since I started, and he's got his pro license, so he can still help out alongside Max McCracken when we you know get going in the pros.
You're in. You signed up. You had your first amateur bout. You're not the guy out in the second round. How does it start to push forward in your career from there?
Yeah, so then I just boxed the next fight. I just said I want to fight, you know, whenever I can. You know,
Okay.
super heavyweight amateur. There wasn't that many around locally. Said, "Oh, you know, any fights we can get." You know,
Mm.
John Nash just looked at who's you know around in the super heavyweights.
Yeah.
She any shows he called up any super heavyweights wanting to fight.
Yep.
Second fight went to Kettering, boxing away show.
Yeah.
Stopped him in the second round as well. And that was my second fight. And then we just went into the novice under 10s, which is under 10 bouts, going to the novice championships.
Right. Okay.
Um, so we went into the novice championships,
Mhm.
and it was my third fight. And I went in and I lost my third fight
Yeah.
um, on a split decision, man. You know,
Right.
I was just raw swinging and that, trying to take the geezer's head off, and the geezer just knew how to just do a bit of jab and moving, and he just beat me in a split decision. And from
Yeah.
then, I thought, you know what, man, I was straight back in the gym. I got to work on these things, man, because you
Yeah.
know, in my head, I was like, I can't be getting beat by a guy who's just you know jabbing and moving. And I thought like, you know, I had some power, I had 2 knockouts. I thought, you know, I've got this power.
Yep.
The geezer just jabbed and moved and beat me, so I had to start thinking about the boxing more,
Yeah.
you know, using your brain a bit more. Keep
Yeah.
box on, you know, the club shows, the home
Yeah.
shows, more
Yeah.
away shows, and then I boxed in the novice the year after.
Yeah.
Went back to the novice under 10 championships,
Mhm.
and then I won them that year. So the year after, I went straight back in, won
Mhm.
them 6 fights in a row, won the whole novice championships. From there, I was a novice national champion for under
Yeah.
10 bouts, and
Yeah.
then tried to box on a few more club shows. And then the year after, went into the ABA Elite Championships, um, straight from the novice championships, and I got to the semi-final,
Yeah.
lost another split decision. You know, it was a close one. I thought, you know, maybe I could have win, but I thought there's a lot of stuff I need to improve on as well.
Okay.
So then got back to the drawing board again, just working hard. Next year, come round for the elite championships and won them. 2017 won them. Got 2
Mm-hmm.
stoppages out of the 3 fights in the finals weekend.
Yeah.
I won the ABAs, and then I was on the GB squad. From
Mm.
there, the last 3.5, 4 years,
Yeah.
been on the GB squad doing international training camps and tournaments all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
So as a fighter then, you know, you mentioned you had 2 losses when you were under 10s, under 10 bouts, a novice.
Yeah.
How do you then, as a fighter, you're getting these knockouts, you're having these wins. How do you as a fighter have that mindset to go back to the drawing board and say, all right, that person's beat me. How am I going to get better?
Yeah.
I'm asking that because sometimes I think fighters get upset, but they
Yeah.
don't improve. So how do you have that mindset to say, all right, I've got to go back now and I've got to work on where I went wrong or what I need to improve on?
You just gotta make sure you haven't got a massive ego, because you know I could have just thought I'm the flipping hardest puncher in the in the world or something.
Okay.
You know, I'll just next fight I'll just knock the geezer out again. You
Yeah.
can't have a big ego. You gotta think, you know what? Go to your coaches. They see it from the outside. You know what was there that I could improve on? What
Yeah.
did he do that I need to improve on? You know
Yeah.
what do we need to work on? And I was just straight back in the gym asking
Mhm.
questions. You know what I need to work on, and just getting down to work. You know, and understanding that you can never stop improving, and you know there's a lot of improvements to do. There's a lot to
Mhm.
take, so you have to just get back in the gym and put in your due diligence and just
Yeah.
put your head down and work and not be too big headed and egotistical about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So tell me how you went from what you would call a hard puncher that was just knocking everyone out, swinging, to a boxer, because there's
Yeah.
a difference.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
tell me
definitely.
about how you changed to actually start to think, okay, I'm going to start to box, but use my power accordingly.
That's it. Just studied a lot of boxing, watched loads of fight film tapes, old Muhammad Ali,
Yep.
Lewis, all old school fighters, Ezra Charles, these guys that are back in them days. It wasn't about who was the biggest. The heavyweights were only like 14 stone,
Yep.
but the technique, you got to look at the technique. Those raw fighters,
Yeah.
study that, and just in the gym with the coaches, asking questions,
Yeah.
working on stuff, working on my weaknesses. Head movement, footwork, everything like that. It's becoming a more complete package, working on
Yeah.
every aspect of boxing, studying the aspects of boxing and working on it as well.
Yeah.
Not being, narrow minded and I've got power, that's it, or I can do this and that's it. You got to just improve on a whole range of things.
Mm. So up until you got onto the GB squad, which of those fights would you say was the biggest learning fight for you to say, okay,
Mm.
I know what I need to do now with this?
Yeah. It's hard to say. I think each of them, as I went along, each one, if I'd lost a split decision here or there,
Yes.
I would take something from each one. So, might have lost one fight early on, improved on a certain thing,
Yeah.
then something might happen and got a few wins, then lost a split decision to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
then work on what next I need to work on from there. The couple of those guys, which is good for me, that I lost to, I literally beat them in the rematches. It's about 3
Okay.
guys that rematched and beat them because I'd
Right.
worked on exactly what I needed to, and that helped me know that I've improved because I've gone back to the exact same person and overcome them, and beat them. So show me that I was improving on things. So
Yeah.
each time, just work on things and improve and keep on improving. And then when you're winning as well, you gotta still put the work in and keep
Yeah.
improving.
Yeah. So how would you describe your fight style at that period of time? Because we'll come on to where you are today. But
Yeah,
going back then, I know you mentioned the scrappy stuff, but you
yeah,
also said you learned how to box. So
yeah,
your
yeah.
style then, and we're going to talk about now in a bit, but your style then, how would you describe Saul's style at that time?
Yeah, man. Very rigid, raw, just wanted to come forward and take your
Okay.
head up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come forward, got my backhand loaded, going after
Okay.
them, trying to land power shots. And
Yeah.
some of those fights were like the novice amateurs, you do 3 2-minute rounds. I wasn't even on
Yes.
the 3-minute rounds.
Yes.
Some of those fights, I've never blown so hard in a fight, man, because I used to just load up everything and just swing for those 2 minutes. And I've
Mhm.
never been so knackered because I was just putting everything into it,
Yes.
just going in for them,
Yeah.
not thinking, using my brain, and some of them fights, I was knackered because I just load up and swing everything at them.
Yeah. 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 I know them ones because you're tense as
Head,
well. So
head,
it just doesn't help.
yeah,
And
man.
then your feet stop. You're more 1-2, 1-2, and then you're just looking to load up on your shots. So
Exactly that.
and then you're not moving your head, and that's how you're getting caught with those
Exactly.
lovely point scorers. So
Point
yeah,
scorer,
I can 100% believe that.
yeah.
So then you transition into the GB squad.
Mm,
Tell us about your experience in that. And is that when you met Max McCracken, or was you with him before?
yeah. I met Max. Well, I only saw Max a few times because
Yeah.
Rob McCracken is obviously the head of GB Boxing.
Hmm.
Is Max's brother.
Hmm.
He's the head of GB Boxing, and
Yeah.
so Max sometimes would bring fighters up to Sheffield to spar with the GB lads.
Right.
Some pros, sometimes Gamal Yafai would come up,
Yeah.
and I saw Max a couple of times, and on like Instagram, I had him on Instagram, seen him there, and just sort of like a hello sort of thing when he was in Sheffield bringing some
Mm.
fighters. It was when I was looking to turn over, that's when I
Yes.
really got in touch with him directly.
Yeah.
But because he was brothers with Rob, who was leading the GB squad the whole time I'm on there,
Yeah.
it was easy for me to talk to Rob and then say, I'm turning over, and obviously I want to work with Max as well, and he was happy with that because it was his brother, and he said, he's got the experience, and it was a
Yeah.
easy
He's a
link up like
fighter
that.
himself as well.
Exactly.
Who's your trainer at that point?
So on GB we got there's a number of coaches on the GB squad,
Okay.
like for the team. So like there's like over 10 coaches. I was on the podium squad, so there's a main core of podium coaches
Yeah.
um that have been doing Olympic cycles for years. Well experienced coaches,
Okay. Okay.
Ed Valway, Lee Pullen, Paul Wormsley,
Yeah.
um, and many more. That was working with it each week. In the
Yeah.
tournaments. Bob Dylan, who's actually from by Worley Way as well.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
he used to be involved with Worley back in the day as well, not when I
Yeah.
was there. And he is a GB coach as well.
Yeah.
You got all different perspectives on GB. You got input from all different angles of experienced coaches. Go to
Mm.
tournaments. You might have 3 coaches there. Then you might go to another tournament. Might be a different 3 coaches.
Okay.
But you have that core of coaches, but there's a good few
Yeah.
coaches there. Yeah.
So how does that make you feel as a fighter? Because do you have to get used to all of them? I'm trying not to lead you down an answer here, but you've got like a pool of coaches,
That's what it is. Yeah.
and it can fluctuate depending on where you are. Obviously, commitments of the coaches if you're going out of the country. How does that sit with you as a fighter?
You have to just take it as the coaches have got different styles, but you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
you have to take what works for you from one, maybe take
Okay.
advice from other, you know, and pick and use different things from different coaches. You
Right.
can't do everything that every coach says because you just be confused, man. There's
Yeah.
too much, but you just have to take bits and bobs, and they work together, the coaches. So
So they're a
well,
solid, good working team.
yeah, you'll have individual work-ons for as a boxer. So
Yeah.
you can have a sheet of work-ons.
Right.
Say one coach is doing your pad work, a different coach next week. You can say, right, this is what I'm working on anyway. So that
Right.
different coach will still work on the same stuff
Right.
and give their input, sort of thing.
So there's a nice flow of continuity, even though
Yeah,
you've got different trainers.
yeah,
Because when
that's
you're
it.
mentioning all of these, I'm thinking, hold on a
Yeah,
minute, how many is that?
yeah, it can be. There's a few, but
Yeah.
they work together. There's a proper, well put together program, and
Yeah.
you won't be too like confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the GB squad, then you're in there and you're doing your bits, you're turning over your fights, you're getting to travel.
yeah,
Why pro? Why turn over to pro?
yeah. For me, it was the ambition anyway. I
Okay.
wanted to get my experience in the amateur ranks,
Okay.
the highest level possible. Coming off GB,
Yeah.
that's what sets you up. You know, you can see the difference. A lot of fighters that turn over that have had that international experience and haven't,
Okay. Yeah.
you know, help you, you know, when the help you come good, you know, when the time's right, you know,
Yeah.
when you need to step up on that. Those with
Yeah.
that little bit of amateur experience, you
Yeah.
know, it makes a difference. So there's that. And you know, a lot of things like the Olympics being postponed and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And we was just training, you know, there's still qualifiers to take place for the Olympic Games. And
Right.
I didn't want, I wanted to just take things into my own hands really and not wait
Yeah.
on this, that, and the other. You know, I just wanted to
Yeah.
take things into my own hands. I was going down the pro route anyway.
Yeah.
That's where the ambition is. So I thought, let's just do it and just start making moves now.
Yeah. So you're turning over and you think, okay, this is the one for me. But experience with fighters, who have you had experience with in your weight division that you believe will be a real asset and benefit to you in your pro career?
Yeah, I've sparred, you know, on the GB squad, you know, sparred the top guys, you know, in the country, you know, like Fraser Clark's of a super heavyweight on the GB squad,
Yes. Yeah.
sparring him, you know, years, good few years on there.
Yeah.
Managed to get a lot of sparring with Joshua as well, which is great because he trains in the same gym at Sheffield.
Yeah.
So I've managed to get involved with quite a bit of sparring there. And, you
Yeah.
know, while he's a world champion, unified, that's a great place to test yourself and gauge yourself. You know, what better than the world champion, you know, to test
Yeah.
where you're at.
Yeah.
Also, all quality international fighters, you know, being on GB, you're not flying around fighting journeymen. You go into a country, you're fighting, you can fight 3 or 4 national champions from different countries in that same, you know, weekend. You're fighting, you know,
Wow.
the best guys in their countries, you know, national champions from all over the world.
Yeah.
You can beat those guys, and then good sparring as well. You know, recently Joyce and Dubois before their fight,
Yeah.
sparred both of them.
Tell me
So
about that.
you know, yeah, I was sparring both of them for their lead up to their fight. So I'll do a couple of weeks at Dubois camp, sparred Joyce the next week, back to Dubois the week after. So I managed to gauge myself then because they was coming up close to the, you know, big fight.
Yeah.
You know, I could see
Yeah.
that I haven't had my debut yet. See where I'm at, you know, the level that
Yeah.
they're projected to, and
Yeah.
you know, making sure that I can make a good account of myself in the sparring. You know, not there just as a sparring partner, but there to improve. And you know, gauging myself and getting confidence, thinking, you know what, yeah, when I've had, you know, 10, 15 fights like they've had, the level I'm gonna be, that's gonna be up there as well.
Yeah. What's that like when the two fighters, just going back to the Joyce and the Dubois fight, both of them are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you come and spar with Joyce to prep him for that? Yeah. When you finished sparring Joyce, can you come over to what's that like?
Yeah, man.
This is from a boxing fan's perspective. You're like, I don't know, what's it like for you as a fighter to like go in between the two camps? This is probably normal for you guys, but tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, there's a bit of speculation, you know, more on the outside, people saying, oh, he's a mole in the camp, going to tell one, you know, going to tell him and that. You
No,
know,
yeah, it doesn't work like that. I know it doesn't work like that, but
yeah, a lot of boxers know sparring is sparring. So I was just there to, you know, get the good work in. You know, I had the opportunity to go spar Dubois and Joyce.
yeah,
More chance to, you know, improve instead of just, you know, sparring one of them for 5 weeks. I got another angle. I got to spar both of them mixtures, so I got to experience both sides of the camp.
yeah,
For me, it's just sparring, training. You know, at the end of the day, you know, no politics behind it for me.
yeah.
More people was talking on the outside, you know, about it, but inside the camp, it was just sparring.
It's work, isn't it?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
So you're really looking. You've got a really good CV. It's almost like, I don't know, you're going for a top job, and then you're just peeling out this. Excuse me. You're reeling out this CV, and it's like, I've done this, and this. So when you're turning over pro, SJam, are you managed by them yet?
Yeah, I'm managed by them. Yeah. So when I turned over, I signed with them first as a management, and then we got the promotional contract sorted after that. So I initially went with them as a management, and then we went and looked at deals from promoters, and ended up signing with Matchroom as a promoter.
Yeah. So your relationship building up with Sam Jones, how did that start? or I'd say SJam because there's two of them. How
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it start with SJam?
yeah. So initially it was Sam, you know, just would message me on Instagram every now and then,
Yeah,
like early last year, you know, just talk to me a little bit, just general stuff, you know. There was
yeah,
no prep for him telling me to turn pro. Just, you know, chatting a little bit, you know, basic stuff. And I seen him at one fight, at Frank Warren showed one time. Just,
mm-hmm,
you know, brief conversation,
mm-hmm,
nothing major. Then he said, you know, when you want to turn over, you know, we would love to sign you and manage you.
mm,
So when I did, you know, eventually want to turn over, you know, I messaged him,
yeah,
and, and we just got the ball rolling from there, really. And then we started, you know, getting meetings together and
yeah,
putting stuff into place. Then, you know, putting a
yeah.
plan together.
So as a fighter then, with all of this experience, you're now approached by somebody that, you know, has got a liking to what you do, what you can do in the ring, and they want to be your manager. As a fighter then, because there's going to be people that's listening to this that are coming up behind you, younger generations, what advice would you give to them in relation to management and having the right manager for them?
Yeah, you've just got to sort of look about and sort of build a bit of a relationship yourself. You know, you can't just go to someone just because it's a name, you know, and just sign your life away like that. You know,
Yeah,
you have to speak to people,
yeah,
speak to other people. You know, if you know what other fighters, if you're lucky enough to know other fighters, speak to
yes,
them about, you know, their experiences.
yeah,
You have to try and get a bit of a balanced perspective. You know,
yeah,
don't just, you know, a lot of fighters might come out the amateurs, you know, and if they haven't been on the GB squad or anything, they've never had any money for boxing, especially amateur boxing. GB, you get a bit of a funding.
okay,
Um, you know, it's not obviously the pro ranks, but you get a bit of funding. But coming
yeah,
straight from club level, someone could offer someone a few quid and they'll just sign straight away because, you know,
right,
you're literally having nothing from boxing to being given something.
okay,
Got to try and speak to people as much as you
yeah.
can really before you make a decision. Don't jump into any rash decisions.
But I hear what you're saying, and but that's really good advice though, because it's like you said, some people going from nothing really, and then somebody offers them a bit of cash, and it's like, wow, I've never seen that before, and they
Exactly.
jump on it, and they don't do the homework, and then really they didn't get a good deal. So that
Yeah,
is really, really good advice.
exactly. Yeah.
But sitting here, you know, from a boxing fan's perspective, um, you're scrolling through Instagram, and then you see new Matchroom signing. Now, that's the golden ticket for a lot of fighters, being signed to Matchroom. So before this came into fruition, and then you get that call from your managers, how does that feel?
You just gotta stay grounded. You know, you can't. You know, we looked at other, you know, promotional options. You know,
Right,
we
okay.
looked at our options. You know, looked at other promoters, and we
Yeah.
wanted to just see what would work best for us.
Mm,
Same with, like I said, with the management. Don't just sign on the dotted line for anyone.
okay.
Take over meetings. You know, see what the platform's gonna be. See what they can offer you. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's great being signed to these promoters. You know, the big names.
Yeah.
But there's a job to be done there. So you've got to look who's going to promote you the best, who's going to give you the opportunity. And with
Yes.
Matchroom, we you know, in terms of the boxing point of view, it was okay. They're going to give you these fights. They're going
Hmm.
to put down. You know, we're going to give you so many fights in the year. We're going to make sure that you are boxing. You're not just going to be signed to us and then you on the sidelines. You
Okay.
might show here or there. You know,
Yeah.
you've got a set number of fights for the year.
Yeah.
You know, little things like that to ensure that you are making the moves in your career, not just signing for them for an Instagram post. You know, you're signing for them for the job at hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear. I'm not expecting you to go into ins and outs of contracts because that's not what I'm here for. But you've turned pro. Congratulations. Congratulations with signing with Matchroom. Because from where I come from, that would be the golden ticket. So well done on getting that done. How many fights are you looking to have on a yearly basis then?
So hopefully this year we're looking to have 5 fights. You know, so I should be busy. We're looking to be busy, you know, and get 5 fights done this year.
Yeah.
You know, even with the first couple months of the year being, locked off a little bit.
Yeah.
We're looking at the debut now. We should be set on for March. I was hoping February, but we should be set on for March, and then 5 fights altogether by the end of the year.
Okay.
So not regular then.
Okay. So in regards to your training, your debut is possibly going to be in March. What are you doing in relation to your training? Camp as such, because I know you stay ready. I see you in the gym. You're active anyway. But how long is it before you actually start your proper camp? If you're looking at March being a possible fight date for your pro debut.
Well, pretty much in camp as we speak.
Okay.
So I'm just training twice a day. Doing my strength and conditioning work.
Yeah.
Making sure I'm getting my running in. Boxing every day. Monday to Friday. Boxing every day. Looking to up the sparring. Hopefully, end of the week. Start getting a good sparring in next week as well.
Yeah.
This week I've just been doing my bag and pad work.
Yeah.
My ground work. My strength and conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
And my running. I'm training twice a day. And make sure I get my recovery on the weekend. Maybe another run on a Saturday.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling fresh, but we've still got a good few weeks. But training twice a day. We're pretty much in training camp. I'm always not far away anyway, so
yeah,
the sparring will increase, and little things will tweak. But we're training twice a day now. Anyway.
Yeah. And have you got your sparring lined up for when you're ready to take it to that level?
Yeah. So me and my coach Max, we're looking at getting some sparring. It can be a bit difficult around Birmingham. There's not that many heavyweights, so we have to look around. But we should be able to get some, some sparring in.
Yeah.
So, get a couple of spars a week, 2 or 3 spars a week at least.
Yeah.
So we should be able to get that going as well.
Yeah. And regarding the strength and conditioning, because a lot of people think boxing is just going in there, hitting bags, doing some pad work, and then having some sparring, whether it be technical or, you're going to have a little bit of a hard spar to get you ready to see how you deal with those heavy punches. Yeah. Talk to me about your strength and conditioning and what you like to do to keep that up, because you need it for your endurance and your power.
Yeah, it's massive. I've just literally gone to a new strength and conditioning coach, Des Witter, who's trained, a load of pro fighters over the years. He's trained Cal Yafai.
Okay.
Conditioning, Gamal Yafai, a lot of the top Birmingham fighters, he's done their S&C work. So, we're doing our conditioning circuits, the strength work as well. So, I've started going down there 2-3 times a week doing that work.
Okay.
So I'll do my boxing training in the morning.
Yes.
My bag, my pad work.
Yeah.
With Max, and then later on in the afternoon, go home, eat, rest for a little bit, then go to the strength and conditioning gym, do my S&C work.
Yeah.
Do like I said, your conditioning work, your circuit work, strength. Strength training. He put the program together. He knows what he's doing. He's training multiple fighters. Just get put through your paces there.
Yeah.
Just get through paces. Yeah, man, it's different. So you can't just rely on your boxing work. You have to do that additional bit to condition everything. Definitely.
And what about nutrition in relation to that?
Yeah, just trying to eat clean, really. I'm a heavyweight, so
okay.
I don't have to have these little baby portions like some of the other, guys making weight, but you just gotta be smart. I know a bit about what to eat. You got to make sure you're eating clean, cutting out, the burgers, the chocolate, and that. I do enjoy a bit of a sweet tooth on the weekend sometimes, but I know coming up to fight time, gotta cut it out.
Gotta peel it back, yeah.
Eat clean, your clean carbs, your protein sources, and just your you gotta get your greens and your vegetables and your fruit in. Just keep it basic, really, day to day. Nothing too flashy. You'll see the improvements.
Absolutely. And we touched on styles when you was talking about when you had your first amateur bout, your GB squad, the learning lessons that you had from the fights that you had, whether there were split decisions, wins, whatever.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your style now, Sol's boxing style.
Yeah, now I've definitely become a lot more relaxed in the ring, relaxed, but still switched on, explosive, still still got that fire, you know, come forward fighter, explosive with my hands, but just a lot slicker now, more relaxed, you know, and just a lot better, you know, with my timing and stuff like that. Just my ring IQ is a lot higher.
Yes.
A lot more calm in the ring, but also switched on at the same time. You know, I'm calm. I can see a lot more coming. You know, when you're a bit novice, you think every shot might just do something mad to you. You know, you're all over the place. You tense up. You know, you move too far. You take 5 steps across the ring when someone throws a jab. You know what I mean? Whereas, you know, it's true though. You know, you're bouncing off the ropes and that when someone throws a jab. But you know, with the experience comes, you know, you just that little subtleties with the movements, you know, you're more relaxed. Throws a jab, you just, you know, slipping with it, sliding.
Yeah.
I'm still improving on these things, you know, as we go forward, but it's more relaxed in the ring, but you know, still explosive on the offense and dangerous in the hands.
Yeah, because you've mentioned that you've got fast hands. Now, fast hands is something that is a gift to have in the heavyweight division, as you know. One of the fighters that was known to have really good fast hands is Andy Ruiz. Obviously, before we put a little bit of weight on, fast hands. Tell me how important that is as a heavyweight.
Yeah, as a heavyweight, you know, because a lot of heavyweights, you know, can be very 1-2 thudding shots. If you can put together, you know, 3, 4, 5 shots together,
you
know, before they've even thought what to happen, you can get your shots off, mix them up, and then you can get back out of range and out of danger.
Yeah.
You know, you're doubling the amount of punches you can land and potential damage you can do.
Yeah.
So you got that hand speed, you can put the combinations together.
Yeah.
You know, get 4 shots off, and say 1 or 2 might go through. But if you know, you're local, can only get 2 thudding shots, you know, and the opponent reads them, you know, they both get
coming
blocked.
back with the counters as well.
Exactly. So that's hand speed just gives you that chance to land more and get yourself out of danger as well.
Yeah. So you're 6'5", so surely your range. I'm going to make a stereotype here. Just because you're tall, you're going to use your range, or do you like to get inside?
Yeah, that's the thing with me. I like to get inside. You know, a lot of the time the coaches are telling me use your range. Sometimes I get carried away, man. I just want to come forward and just mix it up, definitely. But you've got to be able to fight on the inside and the outside, you know, because anything can happen in the ring, you know, you got to have it all.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I can see that. I've watched some of your stuff, and I can see that you like that close range, and I have seen the speed of you on the pads. You have got fast hands. I just wanted to get your view on it, but I can see that you like those short, sharp shots. So that's why I wanted to touch on. Do you actually go to range? Because, you know, you're talking about throwing the combinations, getting back out, and then, you know, possibly flicking with the jab, coming in with the combinations. It's just trying to get around your style, because even though you mentioned what you did in like the amateur, it's still there. You've still got that. I just want to get you with some damage. It's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, go forward and try and take someone's head off, man. You still got that. If you got it about you, you got it about you. But like I said, it's just trying to expand what you can do as well. You know, broaden the horizon of what you can do. So
absolutely,
boxing, you know, learning when to go in and out of range. That's something I've learned over the years on the squad.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to your pro debut. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what you've got to offer the division. You've got a lovely resume. You know, you've had some really good experience. It seems like you're in safe hands with your management and now your promotion. I really wish you all the best. October Red on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And don't forget, at October Red, we stay ready. CLK ready.